All right, now if you've been following Star Wars news recently, then I'm sure you've heard already that the Skeleton Crew, which is the latest installment in the Star Wars franchise, isn't really doing so hot numbers-wise. And despite what the anti-woke grifter mob wants you to believe, I don't think it has anything to do with the way the Acolyte was received. Now let's actually take a moment to sit here and think about why a project like the Skeleton Crew wouldn't have the pull that, say, Ahsoka or The Mandalorian or Obi-Wan or even Boba Fett might have had when they came out. I'm gonna open this video up by saying that I thoroughly enjoyed the Skeleton Crew. You see this dangly necklace behind me? That's from the premiere. I had the privilege of being invited by Star Wars themselves to the premiere, and that was crazy. And even besides all of that, watching the show at the house with my family, we absolutely loved it. But let's sit for a minute and actually talk about why this show didn't do well numbers-wise. When it came to the Skeleton Crew, it was 100% completely disconnected from the main storyline of Star Wars, the whole Skywalker saga, if you will. And while to me, I find that refreshing, to a lot of core fans, they want to know what happens next in the main story. They don't care about side projects like the Skeleton Crew, especially ones marketed towards children, the way that the Skeleton Crew was. And on top of that, there was no cameos or returning characters or legacy characters or anything like that. And while that was fine and refreshing for some of us, I have a feeling majority of the core fans really wanted to see a Jedi or a Skywalker or like Ahsoka or Mando and Grogu or really just anybody. And it did not deliver when it came to that. There wasn't even the one cameo that we all wanted, Hondo. I desperately wanted to see a live action Hondo, and we didn't get that. Even without that, I still think the Skeleton Crew was easily an 8.5 out of 10. And now, since everybody wants to blame the Acolyte, let's actually talk about the one aspect of the Acolyte that I think may have had some effect here. Does anybody remember what it was like if you went on the internet and said, wait, I like the Acolyte during the time it was airing? Because I do. I was defending the Acolyte up and down TikTok, making videos left and right, debunking all the broken lore claims, going after all the bigots and racists that simply couldn't stand seeing minorities or members of the LGBT community run an entire cast, right? What I think happened is so many grifters, so many people went after the actual fans that were enjoying this series that they just felt like there was no place for them in Star Wars anymore. We felt represented because there were so many POC actors and actresses doing their damn thing on the screen, and that did not matter. You guys got on the internet and just said things like, oh my God, there's black lesbians in space. This isn't Star Wars. How do you think black lesbians felt? Do you think they wanted to remain within the Star Wars community, continue watching and fanning over Star Wars and trying to engage in the discourse around the franchise? No, absolutely not. How do you think that made black people feel in general? How do you think that made lesbians feel in general, right? And then you guys got up here and said things. Don't discredit me, because if I have to, I will go to my videos and make an entire video of the comments. All of these came from my videos. I'm not making any of this up. You guys got on these platforms and said things like they're clearly casting anti-white when there was several white actors and actresses in the production, might I add. You got up there and said these people are clearly casting anti-white, they're pushing an agenda, and this is killing Star Wars. So you're saying black people are killing Star Wars, Asian actors are killing Star Wars, members of the LGBT community finally feeling represented in their favorite piece of fantasy is killing Star Wars. Do you think it makes these people want to remain within the franchise, remain within the fandom? Absolutely not. I think that may have had a profound effect when it came to people actually running to watch the Skeleton Crew. Yeah, so I think it was a combination of everything I just mentioned in this video that actually caused the lack of excitement around the Skeleton Crew. And if you take anything away from this video, I want it to be that letting grifters and letting racists and bigots kill your love for something you've enjoyed since you were a child is fucking sad. They're sad, they're miserable, or they're just doing it for views. Let's just ignore them. Let's phase them out of fandoms. That's gonna be my ultimate goal here on YouTube. My TikTok was just for enjoyment, and they're fucking taking that away from me. So now I'm gonna be on YouTube posting a lot, and that's gonna be one of my main goals. So if you want to see me tear down the grifter army piece by piece, starting from the bottom, give me a follow.